Hello, hello, hello. This is Ace All Freedom back at you. It's been a minute since I was on here last. I think it's been since April. And yeah, a lot has going on since my last show, episode 7. You do have the power. Um, I've been meaning to get back on here for a while and, just vent out and give my take on what's going on in the world. And I missed a lot. I could have had about 30 shows right about now, but like I said, I got other obligations, and it's beginning to become an obsession with me in trying to find out truth and to put it out there for anyone who's willing to listen. So recently, the feeling of spreading truth and gaining knowledge is really hitting me. And why not start with what's the current event, what's going on, what happened yesterday with the Naval Yard shooting. Um, Immediately, when the news came to me, I was I was like, this has got to be another false flag attempt. Nothing new, nothing spectacular, nothing out of the ordinary from the Obama regime. It's the same MO. So immediately I started to do research, gathering up evidence and things like that. And it sickens me because as I'm gathering evidence, I'm going through article after article. It's funny how it's the timing of it all. The timing just like seriously for real. Everybody knows about the Syrian crisis that's going on. I mean, I guess though for those who are in the know, again, I hope that the people who listen to my show are. I'm just trying to enlighten them in a way that's easy for them to digest. But at the same time, truth is truth, and you can't. Sometimes you just can't sugarcoat everything. You have to be raw, rugged, and a bit unsympathetic to the people's ears. You have to become a bad guy in order to get that truth out. And I'm starting to realize that more and more. But it's just like I said, the timing of it all has just been ridiculous. And seriously, you mean to tell me all of a sudden now we have a shooting at a naval yard right before the UN is supposed to disclose their report on whether or not Syrian the Assad government used chemical weapons. It's just funny how everything was just like right on time. In case you don't know, here's a quick recap. You have a man with an assault rifle, shotgun, and a handgun. This article is from NBC. Two other possible shooters, one white, the other black. Somebody had dark fatigues. Uh, One of the gunmen didn't have any words to say. He just started firing. And certain reports had 6 people killed, 10 people killed, 10 people wounded, 4 people killed, 8 injured. So, there's a lot of conflicting reports about who's hurt, who's dead. And I just found it interesting because I remember seeing an article, and I think it's from truther.org or .com or something like that. And it's funny because Obama was supposed to speak, or he did speak, at the 5th anniversary of the Lehman Brothers, of the financial collapse. And according to that article, there was supposed to be an assassination attempt. I don't know. This is just the article. I don't know if it was going to go down or what. But I found it interesting because if that was the case, it's funny how you have this shooting if Obama was supposed to be quote unquote assassinated. Very interesting indeed. I just wanted to put that out there. I forgot the guy's name. I should have wrote it down. I'm sorry about that. But again, I just found it very interesting. Um, The Washington Times had the gunman, one white, one black, khaki-like uniform. The other a black man in his 50s, olive-colored uniform. If you put two and two together, those are military. Those are fatigues. That's all it is. It's just fatigues. Um, and then it gets to the who's dead and who's injured. All of a sudden now you have reports saying, "Hey, you know what? I think there was only one gunman. I could be crazy, but I just think there was just one gunman." All of a sudden, you get this same pattern, just like the Colorado shooting, just like the Sandy Hook shooting. It was multiple shooters in the beginning of each press report. Different, like I said, different, stories on who was hurt and who was killed. And then you have it dwindles down to 3 gunmen, 2 gunmen, and then you wake up the next morning. Oh, you know who it was? It was only 1 gunman. What happened to the other 2? Same MO. And now you have a new enemy. His name is Aaron Alexis. Or Alexis Aaron. I think it's Aaron Alexis. Or Alexis Aaron. I'm sorry. I'm going back and forth. It's just been crazy. So now he's a bad guy. And he happens to be black. And not trying to pull a race card or anything like that. But what's going on? Again with the same MO. It's a military type uniform. I noticed that as well. I'm sure a lot of other people did. A military type uniform. He had an AR-15 assault rifle and all this other stuff, and it happens right on the day the UN is supposed to say to have this report. And then UN, matter of fact, what did the UN do? The UN said, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, chemicals were used in the Syria attack, but they're not saying who did it." According to Ban Ki-moon, he said that it's not his job to find out who did it, but without a doubt, chemicals were used. And of course, Senator Kerry in his diarrhea of the mouth rhetoric. Absolutely, that's right. So without a doubt, Assad's regime did it. No, we don't know Assad's regime did it. And there's been reports saying that rebels did it. Rebels that America funded to get that going. So we don't know who did it. You're just putting words in our mouth. So obviously this whole shooting with Aaron Alexis, he is the enemy. He is the new enemy of the week. And this is going to go on for about another week and a half, 2 weeks, where you're going to have new reports. And then you will have, all the YouTube truthers out there who's looking to find out the truth. You're going to have a lot of false flag videos and crisis actors. I just seen one today, could be a crisis actor. Again, with this same, and it is so tiring. Like, when will people wake up and say, wait a minute now, I've been following this since Colorado. Why is it that you have a lone gunman all the time? When it was 3 shooters, now all of a sudden it's 1 shooter. Same thing with Sandy Hook. And the same thing with the Boston bombing. And all 3 of them, from what I remember, I know the Boston bombing, that incident, of course they did drills beforehand just to get it going, and it's the same thing with this naval yard. Now I know, and there's reports that there were drills beforehand on, I think it was last year in March. There was drills. I think early this year there was drills at the naval yard, shooting drills just in case if something might go down, you guys are prepared. And lo and behold, we have what we had yesterday. And everybody was already accustomed to running and not protecting themselves. And now you have this whole gun control fiasco once again from the so-called Obama administration. We have to get rid of the guns. We have to get rid of the guns. How many times are we going to let this happen? We have to get rid of the guns. Take the guns away from these crazy American people. They're just crazy. They nuts. They loco. Speaking of which, Mr. Alexis, he, now there's reports that he was mentally ill. Whoa. The same thing again. Just like the Sandy Hook shooting. The dude was mentally ill. Same thing with the Colorado guy, Adam Lanza. He was mentally ill. So when are we gonna start noticing patterns here? And it just so happens that it happened right at the opportune time when the UN was supposed to give its report. Oh man, this is just crazy, and I'm tired of it. And it's really out in the open. And here we go with the gun control fiasco. You have Piers Morgan bending over or bending down, licking and taking it, receiving, and say we gotta get rid of these guns. I just seen another video last night. He was saying, "Hey man, we gotta get rid of these guns," and he was talking to somebody who's in a tragic accident of the accident, quotation marks, and shooting at Fort Hood, and he escaped. One thing that guy said was like, it's not the guns that kill people. People kill people. People kill people. People kill people. The gun is not going to pick itself up and shoot. People kill people. And of course, Piers Morgan has something to say about that. Yeah, that's true. People kill people, but we gotta get these guns off the streets and blah blah blah. Oh man, I'm so tired of this, for real. And nobody trusts the government, with their lies. Obama's looking worse and worse each day. And he's gonna spin the rhetoric that patriots' lives were taken away. He has to put that word patriot in, just like he tried to throw the kids up under the bus when the chemical attack happened in Syria. It's tragic. Don't get me wrong. Who wants to see anybody die except for these guys? That's these psychopathic people in the government. They want to see people die because they don't have any conscience. But normal people don't want to see people die, and it's a shame that you have 400 children, dead because of something that the government did. Unfreaking believable. And people are just not realizing the full scope, and they want to run away from truth. And you can't run away from truth. You cannot run away from reality. I always say it's sort of like, you have a messy house and you keep piling stuff up in the corner. Eventually, the things in the corner is going to overflow and take over your whole house. And as long as people sweeping truth up under the rug or in the corner, yeah, eventually the truth will spill over into your lives because you just cannot escape it. You can't escape it. And so you have to be a lover of truth. Truth is not bad at all. Truth is supposed to be invigorating and enlightening and make you want to find out more about life itself. And people are so fearful of the truth, and they're afraid that they're going to not be in the norm, or they're going to be out of the circle. They're not going to look cool anymore and all this other stuff. I mean, honestly, that's a small price to pay for protecting your life and others. Point blank. And, people just have to realize that. I don't care if, you're on Facebook and there's a lot of people, I have a Facebook page, and, honestly, people always post things about what's good and what's bad going on in their life. And sometimes I just scratch my head or pull my hair out. I want to do that because I'm like, wow, you guys are really not talking about the real issues. And I'm going to have to be the bad guy to say it because I have to be. I'm not looking to be sympathetic at this point. I understand because, the more truth you find out, the more discouraged someone will be, and they crawl into the shell even more, trying to not deal with it. But it's because we didn't deal with it before and we let it get to this point. Now it's a problem. And we have to go through it in order to get over it. No other way around it. So it's just, as you hear sirens in the background, I don't know if you hear it, but that's how it is. And this is the world we live in. Once again, Aaron Alexis, or Alexis Aaron, he is the culprit. He is the new enemy.